Hello and welcome back. My name is Rebecca, and if you're new here, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Today I am tackling a chore that I think probably nobody likes to do, and that is cleaning and organizing underneath my kitchen sink. It's a disaster right now. I have a lot of things under there that I have purchased for projects that I'm doing. I'm on the floor, so the cats are down here with me if you see them. So I literally open it up, shut the door quick, and hope that nothing falls out. And I think a lot of us are probably the same way in that we do things like that and hope that no one else sees them. But I'm going to be vulnerable today and show you what the underneath of my kitchen sink looks like, and hopefully give you a little bit of motivation to take a look under your sink and clean it out as well. So here it is. It's very difficult to keep the cats out from the sink when it's open because their treats used to be under there, so they think, I don't know, maybe they'll find one under there someday. This is what it looks like. It's, oh dear, stop it. It's pretty bad. There's just stuff piled everywhere. I want to do this without spending any money, so no money will be spent for me to actually clean up underneath my kitchen sink, because that may be something that's stopping you from starting, right? Maybe you think, oh, I have to go out and buy all these things and make it look aesthetically pleasing, and you know, that's not how it has to be. I don't know what, I haven't cleaned out underneath my sink in a long time, and I don't know if I'm gonna have the proper things to clean things with and get them organized. I'm gonna work with what I have. Maybe I have an old cardboard box or something that I can put stuff in. I don't know. I really don't know what it's gonna look like until we actually get into it. So let's get into it. It was legitimately like having a toddler around who would just not stop getting into things, and they think it's funny because you laughed once, so now it's a game, which is exactly what it was like trying to keep Carl out from underneath the sink. He was just very persistent until finally I had taken so much stuff out that he had a hard time getting back in there. So he had to go around and eventually did find his way back in. So I did not realize how much I actually have underneath my sink until I got it all out and took a look at it. And I remember once my neighbor had been taking care of our cats for us, and they came over, and she said she had looked for something underneath my kitchen sink, and I was like, oh no, you saw underneath my kitchen sink? And I was like seriously embarrassed. She's like, oh honey, don't worry, everybody's kitchen sink looks like that. And I'm like, okay, well, I feel like yours probably wouldn't. But I think we're a lot alike. Us as humans are a lot alike like that. Like, we assume that everybody else, you know, lives a perfect life when really everybody's kitchen sink cabinet looks similar. And I think that's something that we should probably remember. Like, don't try to keep up with the Joneses. Just keep up with yourself and do what you can do. Okay, it's empty. I can't believe how much stuff I could actually fit down there. It's impossible to keep the cats, especially Carl, out of anything that I'm doing right now, so I'm just gonna have to deal with him. So now that I've gotten everything out from underneath there, I'm going to actually wipe it all down and get it all cleaned out. I am using the natural cleaner that I made, and I also have a ton of cleaners underneath here that I need to actually get rid of. So I'll be doing that today as well. So the previous owners put down this clear contact paper as like a shelf liner, and a lot of, if not all of the cabinets and drawers in this house, I've taken some of it out. It's really disgusting and dirty. I took part of it off here, and it's kind of like sticky underneath. So now I'm like, do I Do I keep it because it's really dirty and I can only clean the surface level and there's dirt that's crept underneath it? Or do I take it all off and risk that it's going to be all sticky and make even a worse, disgusting mess? So I have to think about it for a second, figure out what I'm going to do. Even though I've cleaned under here, it's not clean. Like, all of these marks right here is because the liner that they've put down has like broken and it's gotten stuff all underneath it. There's this whole line right here that's all just filthy. So I think actually keeping the liner is doing a better job of keeping dirt there than if I just took it all off. So I think I've decided I'm just going to take it off. That did not go as I thought it would. It was really, really hard to get that tacky paper off. I didn't get it all off. I did get a huge chunk of it off. It's all discolored and yellow and dirty and just really gross. I'm going to dispose of that. I did get some of it cleaned, but like a lot of the stuff that I pointed out, I just wasn't able to get clean. But I did get all over here cleaned off. Like there's still like all right here. I can't get it off. I was using a little scraper from Pampered Chef, which I always seem to find other uses for it than what it's actually used for. So I certainly didn't plan on that. That took way longer than I had expected it would or had hoped it would. So now I actually get to the whole point of this, which is going through all of my stuff and figuring out what I'm going to get rid of and organize the rest. The cats are still prowling around everywhere, so I'm just going to have to work around them. It doesn't even seem possible to me that I have this much stuff underneath my kitchen cabinets. It's a little overwhelming. So I think what I'm going to do is start with the things that I know I've purchased for other videos and for making other homemade non-toxic products. And then I can start getting rid of and filtering out some of the other things that I know I'm going to be replacing with natural things. I have a couple things right off the bat that I know I'm getting rid of. For one, I'm getting rid of this air freshener thing. They are not good for you, so I'm getting rid of it. I'm also getting rid of these disinfectant wipes, which also are not good for you. I'm getting rid of this tiny little bit of window cleaner that I have left because I have made my own, which is right here, labeled, I don't know if you can see it, window. So I'm getting rid of that. There's not much left. I don't know what else I'm getting rid of for right now, but that is a start. I'm going to recycle all of the containers that I will no longer be using, so at least they're not going into a landfill. So I mentioned at the beginning of this video that I don't want to spend any money doing this project. This shouldn't be a thing that you have to go out and spend a bunch of money on. I'm being resourceful. So I just went out in my garage and I found this box. Small-ish, sturdy box. I'm going to cut off the tops of the box, and I'm going to use it to store my rags in because I have a lot more rags than I thought I did, and I need some place to put them. I don't want to go out and buy some fancy little clear container that it's going to look pretty in because it's underneath the kitchen sink, and who really cares anyways? It doesn't need to look perfect and like your home is out of a magazine. So like I said, if this is something that's stopping you, if it's, you thinking that you have to go out and spend a bunch of money to do this, you don't have to. I literally just went out to my garage and got this box, and I'm going to use it to put all my rags in. I got my rags and my dusters all nice and neat in this little box that costs me nothing, and it's going to fit perfectly right under my sink. I have come across a couple other things that I am getting rid of, and I was thinking, I know how I got all this stuff. I used to literally own my own cleaning business, so of course I have a ton of cleaning supplies. Now that I'm awake to the fact of how harmful these chemicals all are to us, is when I want to get rid of them and start replacing them with other things, which is why I'm getting rid of my dusting spray. I will be making my own, and also why I'm getting rid of this big gallon, or not a gallon, this big container of dishwashing fluid. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to ask my neighbor if she wants it before I get rid of it. And that's my other dilemma. It's like, okay, so you're getting rid of these things. Are you going to use them all until they're done? Are you going to pour them down the drain, which is harmful to the environment, which is also harmful to the environment when you're putting it out into the environment just by using it? Do you give it to a friend knowing that it's harmful for them and their family and their pets and their environment? It's like, what do you do? I don't know. I don't know what's right, and I want to do what's right. But I know what's right for me is getting rid of this stuff and making it more environmentally friendly for us and our pets and our house. So I don't know. I'm going to ask her if she wants it, but I also feel bad that like, here's this harmful, harsh chemical laden thing that I don't want to use anymore. Do you want it? Like, what? I just don't know. Had to get creative again with this one. So sponges, I think, are something that I'm going to stop using. They are full of bacteria. And actually, I never used them growing up. I always used dish rags growing up, and dish rags are affordable to buy and they're easy to clean. And so I think once these are done, then I'm it. But I needed some place to put the rest of my sponges because they always end up just everywhere underneath the kitchen sink. So literally, this is the mushroom container that I used for last night's dinner that I just pulled out of the recycle bin. And I'm going to use it to store my sponges, and then once the sponges are gone, I'll throw it back in the recycle bin. This is an easy, free way to find, something. Just walk around your house. I'm sure everybody can find something that they can use to be resourceful so they're not going out and spending any money. I am making great progress. It's not taking me long to get organized, and it feels really good. So when we first moved in, our new neighbors brought over this bin full of cleaning supplies. There's a candle, there's dish towels, just like the most awesome welcome to the neighborhood gift. And I love this because it fits perfectly right underneath my kitchen sink. And so what I'm gonna do is keep the materials and things that I know that I'm keeping and that are good and healthy for you and are natural. I'm gonna start putting that stuff in here so then I can reassess to see what else I may keep or get rid of or find place for underneath the kitchen sink. Here is where I really start to struggle because like I have a brand new liquid soap refill. I recently made my own hand soap and I love it, except for the fact that it's not, it's very liquidy. It's not, doesn't have the viscosity or thickness that like a soap like this does. It's more like kind of gel-like, which I'm working on a formula to actually thicken that soap. I'm gonna hang on to this for now, but I do plan on just making my own soap. I am also gonna keep this cleaner because it is plant-based. And then I also have like almost a whole jar of dish soap that I don't want to get rid of either, even though I could probably make my own dish soap too. And then I also have a carpet cleaner which has a scrubber on it, which is really great for when the cats puke on the carpet, which I know is gross, but I keep it for that. It's actually a car cleaner, I think. I'm sure it's not good for the environment or you, but I'm keeping it. And then this is also something I'm getting rid of, this refresher spray. Totally bad for you. Getting rid of that as well. My pile of things I'm getting rid of is very big, and I feel like I'm going to have a lot of room underneath my kitchen sink. So I think I'm going to start figuring out where I'm going to get things underneath there and get everything back underneath. All right, I've gotten everything put back underneath the kitchen sink. The last thing I need to battle with are these bags. So these are reusable bags, paper bags, a few plastic bags, which plastic bags are illegal now in our state. Like you can't go to the grocery store and just use plastic bags. So when we do get them, we covet them because they're hard to come by these days. So I'm just gonna go through the rest of these bags and figure out what I need to keep and what I can get rid of, or maybe store someplace that's a little bit more practical. I do have like all my grocery bags and stuff, but they stay right in my car. So these aren't even anything that I get groceries with. All right, here are the bags I'm gonna get rid of. I always like to keep big bags like this around because, especially at like Christmas time or when we're traveling with gifts, it's nice to have big bags like this to put them in. I still have a ton of gifts in the other room because we're still waiting on another Christmas, and it happens to be happening here now. So I don't have to travel anywhere with them. So I am going to recycle all of these paper bags. Like I said, definitely keeping these plastic bags. I think the only time we get these now is like when we get fast food or like pizza delivered, and since I'm on a no spend month, we're definitely not getting any of that. So we're keeping these just in case we need them. I'm keeping some paper bags just in case for whatever. And then we have like really nice bags that we got when we went to Yankee Stadium, and a couple other cloth bags. And then I have this big bag that I'm keeping, and then this one is like a thermal bag, so you can put hot or cold stuff in there to keep it hot or cold depending. So I'm going to keep those as well, and I'm going to try to neatly place them underneath the sink back where they were before, just in a more neat manner so they're not all over the place. All right, we did it. I'm really pleased with how this turned out. This is like a task that can seem overwhelming and not a fun one to do, but I actually like organizing and stuff. So once I get into it, I'm like, yeah, I'm really glad I'm doing this. So let me show you what it looks like now. And if you remember what it looked like before, it was a complete disaster. I was literally just throwing stuff in and closing the door quick and hoping that nothing fell back out, which I'm sure a lot of people do that. It's not just me, right? It's not just me. But here is what we have now. I can see right where everything is. I have my big tub that my neighbors gave us. This is where all of my natural products are that I'm keeping. along with the ingredients that I need to make more natural products. I have the box that I got from the garage along with the mushroom thing that I got from the garage as well. See, it doesn't have to cost money to get yourself organized. Yes, those containers that you can buy are nice to have, or if you have them already, it's nice to not have to go out and buy them. But guys, I'm pretty thrilled with the way this turned out. It did take longer than expected because I had to go through and try to get all that tacky paper off, so in reality, this job could have taken me half an hour. It has taken me a lot longer. I don't even actually know when I started. But if you find yourself with a free afternoon when no one's home and you have nothing to do, which would be weird for me to have nothing to do, go ahead and get yourself a little bit organized. Tasks like this are small but feel really good in the end. So I hope I've given you some motivation to get cleaned up. And also, before I go, I do want to show you all of the things that I'm getting rid of because it is a lot. Okay, so here are all the things that were underneath my sink that I'm getting rid of now. Bunch of cardboard containers that I emptied out. Those will get recycled. This plastic, unfortunately, I cannot recycle, and it's not usable in any other way that I can think of, so I'm throwing it away. I'm recycling the bags, and then I'm still on the fence about what to do with these cleaning products. I am going to reach out to my neighbor and ask if she wants them, but I'm not sure how I feel about any of that. How do you guys, if any of you have started the process of getting rid of all the harsh chemical and toxin cleaners in your house, how do you rationalize that? What do you do? Because I'm somewhat new to this, and I'm definitely new to getting rid of a haul of things, and I don't know what to do with them and how to feel right or good about it in the end, which most people would probably just be like, who cares, just toss it. But I don't know, I don't feel good about that. But I do feel good about how the underneath of my kitchen sink looks now. I love it. I can't stop looking at it. I hope you guys get some motivation to do this for yourself because it really will help you feel good. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I still have to get to my craft room. I'm thinking about maybe doing it this weekend. It's an enormous project, and it's definitely going to take me way longer than this did. But I hope you stay tuned for stuff like that. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you real soon.